Good morning. On Thursday, isn't January ticking away? 31st, 30th, 29th, 28th of January in 2021. Now, yesterday was Holocaust Memorial Day, and we were bidden to light a candle in memory of those who suffered, and many died, of course, in the appalling events of the Holocaust. And I found this poem. It's called The Creed of a Holocaust Survivor. I do believe with all my heart in the natural goodness of man, despite the blood and destruction brought by one man trying to be God. In the goodness of man, I do believe. I do believe with all my heart that God gave man the blessing and the curse. Man can select the curse of envy, hatred, and prejudices, or the blessing of love, harmony, and beauty. Despite the painful curses of the past, in the blessing of the Creator, I do believe. I do believe with all my heart that God created a beautiful world. The sun and the trees, the flowers and the bees, and the best way to serve God is to enjoy the fruits of His labor of love. Despite the painful memories from the past, in the joyful celebration of life, I do believe. I do believe with all my heart that God has created man in image of his own, and killing of man is like killing of God. Despite massacres in Rwanda, cleansing in Bosnia, the folly of Muslim fanatics and the cruelty of Potpol, in the love and compassion of the Creator, I do believe. I believe with all my heart that the Messiah and the kingdom of heaven will come, when man will conquer his destructive urge and learn how to live in harmony with nature and himself, when all the preachers of hate will be silenced and man will become his brother's keeper, when man will stop killing man in the name of God and nation will not lift weapons against nation. When it will be, I do not know, but despite all the signs to the contrary, in the dawn of a better world, I do believe. Best regards, Alexander Kimmel, Holocaust survivor. The hope and the conviction that comes through that poem from somebody who survived something that I cannot even begin to imagine. A couple of years ago, I visited the holding camp at Terezin. And this was a camp, a ghetto, where people were held between being captured, arrested, and going to a concentration camp or being shot. And it was the most incredibly moving place to visit. And this book I bought there. I have not seen a butterfly around here. And the camp that is in what is actually a very attractive part of the country. And many, many children were there. And the poetry in this book is predominantly written by those children. And the drawings, there we are, were drawn, and there are lovely paintings too, were written and drawn by children in the Terezin ghetto, established by the Nazis as their temporary dwelling place before their journey to death. The drawings number over 4,000, and there are hundreds of poems and other literary forms. And there's just a selection of them here. This ghetto was in North Bohemia, and it is incredibly moving. And the pictures, the children's pictures, are just absolutely stunning. The colour in them, you is just, I don't know if you can see that well, but the colours are just beautiful. And the poems and things are just lovely. I'll just share this one with you. It's called Waiting. The wind is singing in the crowns of the trees, a sad song of eternal longing. We want to go home, just home, but this time is so long when we wait for our ardent wishes to come true. Or perhaps we'll be waiting until we die. When this life full of suffering and sorrow ends, will we still experience a few happy years? No answer anywhere, waiting again without end. Perhaps in a year, a month, perhaps tomorrow. It has to be one day. It will be one beautiful morning, and then we'll start to live again. Once again, the incredible sense of hope in that writing from someone in a really unbelievably awful situation. And the lovely painting here from a little girl who was killed when she was 11 of the butterflies that offered that sense of hope and light at the end of the tunnel. And I guess for us at the moment, having that sense of hope and light at the end of the tunnel is something, just a little part of that level we could perhaps hang on to. We can perhaps get a glimmer of understanding, especially those people who have been locked in alone for so many months now, unable to see anyone, and in some cases unable to speak to anyone too. And what I really want to get over this morning is that there is hope, that sense of hope and conviction of better things to come is something that we need to hang on to. And as Christians, is something I know that we very much have deep in our hearts. And so until I see you now on Sunday, God bless.